Yeah. God, it's one of those moments. It's better looking at this than the front of my fucking head. That's ironic and, the narcissistic fucking horse shit these days. Either way. I was having an interaction with somebody. It's a cross-dressing gal here in Portland, Oregon. She's cool, but she's a big pharma slave. She doesn't understand any of this, of course. So we were having a conversation, and people do this every now and again with me, and I'm more than happy to broach, these... It's these superficial boundaries most people dance within, to be honest. You could think of it as a nesting square. You could think of it as, concentric circles. They want to believe in bullshit, and that's what they repeat, which is why things are bad. And what I'm talking about reflects reality. It means something, and if they considered it and they worked with it, they'd have a rude awakening, as my mother would put it. But people don't do that. Case in point, we had exchanges back and forth for a minute, and and keep in mind, she pretends that she's a dude. And I mean, she's got some facial hair and all kinds of wacky shit because, she's a big pharma slave. It's not healthy. So the conversation involves us talking about the fact that this is disharmonious. What we're shopping around, what people are catering to is disharmonious. And she's agreeing with me. But it's ironic. And I'm not calling a duck. I'm being sweet. I'm not telling her, you are quite literally shopping around fucking nonsense. So at some point, she eventually tells me, it's all about the gray area. So you guys who have been keeping up probably know where I took that and, what I would say next, because it reflects reality in a big fucking way. So I mentioned, it's a game of tug of war between, the blue and the red, and you don't get to choose one. Moderation is the key. I don't disagree with that. But if you're firmly aligning yourself with the middle, that's just as good as aligning yourself with the blue and the red. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. The point is to be part of the spectrum, so to speak. It's a bad way to put it. But it's also, ironically, why at every fucking turn, men are pitted against women, and the list goes on. In other words, you don't get to choose night and day. But we do celebrate it cyclically. There's something big I want to tell people, but I don't have somebody close to me that I trust, because if I did, I'd open your eyes in a big fucking way and show you a couple things. But usually I don't spoon feed you guys these incremental steps that build it up and show you why I'm saying what I say. So when I do this, because what I'm talking about isn't normalized, what most people believe and repeat is normalized. It's well-financed and circulated, which is why all these dopes fucking believe it. Why would dopes believe that? Why would dopes believe something that's well-financed and well-circulated? Because they are marching in fucking lockstep, because they are retarded. That's why. You would not do this if you were a well-meaning, capable, adult. If you were somebody who embodied critical thinking skills, and the list goes on. Keep in mind, I'm drinking a beer in a coffee cup. I'm on my third beer, and I still manage to rattle that much off, and most people don't understand that much. It should speak volumes in this day and age, because most people will just talk at you with emojis and or truncate their words, or... Well, I'll tell you in a second. Let me take a drink. Needless to say, this interaction went on for a very short while after that. I just sent her a text as well. I recorded a little video, and I left it on TikTok, so some of you guys can see the 2 videos I recorded for her. I sent her, I think, the second one in there. What was it? I was going to tell you something else, but it's the gist of it. When you have a conversation with somebody like this, which quite literally, whether you're a big pharma slave or not, you and all of this falls under the umbrella of indoctrination. What people believe and what they repeat and what they talk about is superficial garbage. You and I have been misled at every fucking bend. And I don't want you just to assume what I just said is true. If you fucking think about it, it is true. So, when you have a conversation with folks like this, or people in general, they're going to tune out. So what eventually happens is either they will rant at you and they'll try to shut you down and reaffirm their dogmatic belief systems. They will do that sometimes. If you've known them a while and they respect you, they'll ask you if it's satire, and then they'll fucking block you, or unfriend you, or all the other fucking divisive measures that are available and reinforce promoting censorship. If you haven't figured that much out, patently fascist censorship, mind you. But in this case, she stopped responding. It was nothing but crickets. Because she is a big pharma slave, and to appreciate what I said flies in the face of what she wants to believe. It flies in the face of what she was spoon-fed and she bought into. It flies in the face of the fucking propaganda. So if you guys watch the videos, I didn't tell her that outright, but I gave her the dots to connect to appreciate why that's a fucking fact. One, it's a binary system, and if you don't appreciate that, you're never going to figure anything out, which is why that's been corrupted. Two, I mentioned the Tavistock Institute, which you should look up. If you haven't buffed up on the Tavistock Institute, that's where most, if not all, social engineering propaganda is cooked up. There are other aspects of that now because our masters branch off. It's like the Illuminati. The Illuminati no longer exists. It doesn't. But it was rebranded. It became other sects, S-E-C-T-S, factions, groups, etc. And they shouldn't exist, and they wouldn't if you and I were adults, just like Israel wouldn't exist if you and I were adults and did the right thing. Sorry, I got distracted. There's a fucking retard bouncing a basketball. What was I going to say? Oh, so the Tavistock Institute is intimately connected with eugenics. If you've ever looked up eugenics is fucking dog shit. It's not something that you would promote. And both of these are intimately connected with fascist ideology. Is that something you would support? No, fuck no. Most of these kids out there, they will wax poetic. They will fucking complain about fucking fascism. Meanwhile, they're promoting communism or one of these other, aspects of this. All of these are quite literally fascist ideologies, to say the very least. Oh, here's the fucking retard in question. I'm bouncing my basketball. People are dumb. That's my point. What the fuck do I know? If you hung out, thanks for hanging out.